Hardworking queen, positive queen, loyal queen, successful queen, loving queen, God-fearing queen, respectful queen, ambitious queen. The everyday queen. You know the everyday queen. You know the everyday queen. Ooh, 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 the everyday queen. You know the everyday queen.
Welcome to the Everyday Queen.
I am Rudy.
And I am Tina. So we're so excited. Hope you guys had a great Valentine's Day, but we're not done with the love. We're going to keep it rolling.
Keep it going.
All right, let's keep the love train going. All aboard.
Jump.
So tonight's episode again is going to be kind of relationship, but it's part 3.
Yeah.
It's going to be on the engagement perspective. You know, you're about to get married, but you're engaged. All right.
Yes.
Show that ring off.
Yes. Ring on it.
Yes. So we have a lovely couple. Cara and Shanice are going to discuss their perspective on engagement, and we're going to have various questions. So,
can y'all start off by introducing yourself and how did you guys meet and when did you get engaged?
All right. Well, yes, like she said, I'm Shanice. This is Carl. We actually met in 2016 through the dating app called Plenty of Fish. So Carl he reached out to me on POF, and, you know, we talked through the app for a little bit, texted a little bit. We went on, the first date we went on to was a Jamaican restaurant. Then we went to another date. And we had really good conversations and stuff, but for some reason, I just fully wasn't into him. So I kind of ghosted him a little bit. And we really just didn't talk for basically 2 years. And in 2018, he like randomly crossed my mind. And I was telling two of my girlfriends, like, y'all remember that guy, Carl, that I used to talk to from Plenty of Fish? And they remember because I used to send them like pictures of guys I used to talk to because, you know, dating online is just a crazy experience. So sometimes you got to vent to your girls. But yeah, so they were like, well, you should hit him up if you think about him. And I was just like, but I did. I texted him and he remembered who I was. He didn't have my number saved anymore. He deleted my number.
Sure did.
But he actually remembered who I was once I sent him a selfie. And we literally, like, that was in March of 2018, and we've been glued to the hip since then. We got engaged at the top of last year. So we just actually celebrated 1 year of being engaged. We got engaged on January 19th of 2020. And we are scheduled to have our wedding this year in a couple of months. So that is how we met.
Yes, awesome. So excited.
Do you have anything you want to add on, Carla? She wrapped it up for you.
She pretty much covered everything.
Okay. So I'm going to start off with the first question. Okay, so do you feel like anything would change once y'all get married?
More so finances, like the joining of the finances part, and as far as family, for me, everything else pretty much the same. We've been living together over a year now, so everything else will stay the same for me.
I agree with what Carl said. I think for me, one of the things that will probably change is the accountability, you know, factors. Like, you know, you have somebody that you always have to consider. You can't just up and leave the house and go run around. You know, you want to check in. You want to make sure they know where you're going. Just, you know, being mindful of the person. I mean, I'm mindful of him now, but it's just, I'm sure it'll go to a different level, you know, once husband, wife, you're going to change the emergency contacts. I did change a couple of them already. So he's my emergency contact.
Right.
So changing some of that, getting on each other's health insurance, like he said, the finances. And I mean, really, it's just going to be a growing experience. People evolve over time. So things will change, but, you know, it may not be what we thought about at the beginning, but I'm sure things will change. But I mean, like he said, a lot of stuff now that we live together, I think some of it will stay the same.
All right,
Okay.
sounds good. Okay. The next question: what are your core values as an individual and as a couple? And then, like a two-part fold is kind of how do you see upholding them?
Mm, mm.
Okay. Let me sizzle.
Okay, so I would say my core values as an individual, of course, being that I was single for quite some time, up into my 30s, I feel like I'm pretty independent. My core values are being successful in my career and just making sure myself is a whole person. That way, coming into a relationship, it's not two halves becoming one, it's two wholes becoming one. So one of my core values is just making sure that I'm good overall, having my own relationship with God, having my own, ambition towards success and furthering my career. And then just that, it actually kind of like it'll uphold how it will uphold us in our marriages, motivating him to look for different jobs because he is actually doing that. And just also, like I said, if I have God in my own relationship and he has God in has his home relationship, we come together and he'll be the center of our relationship. So,
Right.
making sure that we are equally yoked, but we have our own individual aspects of what makes us us. So.
Right.
I mean, one of my core values would be is to make sure I'm the man of the house, meaning taking care of the manly duties. Put your chest up, put your chest up, and just making sure I'm the man and the provider, and make sure she's comfortable, she's the queen, take care of her, everything comes together.
Yeah.
That's
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Yes.
Like just automatically just come together.
Yes.
So my next question: when was the moment you knew that y'all were going to be one and y'all were going to get married? Like, was it like a love at first? Well, I don't want a love at first sight from y'all forward. I guess it'd be love there. I guess love at second sight.
Yeah.
So it was the moment
that you knew.
that you knew, like, we gonna get married.
Yeah. I think caution is first.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, I know we have two different answers, so
he go first.
I would say from the moment, I guess, from just when we started back talking again and actually courting her and just understanding her as a person, that I seen the values in her, and I was like, we going somewhere. And this, over time, just evolving and hanging out, and we went out the country together like early in our relationship, so that was one.
You can travel with somebody,
right? You travel
that can
make a break. That make a break. Right? You know what I mean? And then just vibing with each other. A lot of things we found that we had in common with each other. So I was like, you know what? This could be the one.
Yeah.
And I went on ahead and made my decision in January and said, I'm gonna do it.
Yes.
Okay, well, our answers are a little similar then. I will say, like he said, he really, from day one, he courted me, opening car doors, dropping me off at my apartment elevator. He didn't, say, hey, I want to come up today. It was a while before he came up. Going to church together. I just really felt like, he had himself together, his own place, good job, successful, just, it didn't feel like it would be a situation where you have to put a man together. He was already together. And then, we have a good, he has a great sense of humor. I'm a clown. So like, that was just really good that meshed well. But yeah, in the beginning, it took me some time. Like, I was like, I know I like him as a person, but do I like him as my person? Or like, do I want to take it there romantically? But I definitely loved him as an individual and his personality. I vibe for sure. And I was just like, I had to warm up to like, okay, do I, want to see him in a romantic, lens? But I definitely knew he was husband material from the jump. And it was probably like maybe 2 or 3 months in that I was like, he could probably be my husband. So yeah, it was kind of early.
All right. It seemed like it happened like naturally, just
Yeah, it was real natural.
Yes.
I think actually the 2-year gap probably did help because he probably wasn't ready.
It's all about timing.
Yes, timing is everything.
Yes, it is.
I wasn't.
Yes. Okay, so I know you guys touched on, God being the center of your relationship. Some goes into my next question. So, did you feel like God called you to be with this person, to be engaged in this person? Do you feel like you had discernment about this?
Yeah. Good question.
Yeah, I think for me, I think when the second time she came around out of the blue, I think that was all of God's work
Yeah.
because it was just a random text. Like she said, I mean, I had no number from her, no picture from her, and just a text out of the blue, like, "Hey, do you remember me? Just checking up on you." And I'm like, "Man, who is this?" And so I look at the phone. So I said, send me a picture. And then I look at a picture. I was like, "Oh, wow, I ain't seen her in a minute." So, once I, talked to her and, we start hanging out and whatnot. And I was like, yeah, this was a sign from God. Like, I want you two to be together now. I wasn't ready for y'all back in 2016, but I think you guys are ready now to make that move.
Yes.
I completely agree. It was definitely God's timing. If I don't know if you guys, believe in the Holy Spirit, but I do. When the Holy Spirit, comes upon you, you move to do what the Holy Spirit tells you to do.
Yes.
So, even the people that you come in contact with, like I said, my girlfriends, just the fact that I reached out to them and they gave me that, extra push, like, yeah, reach out to him, because typically I'd be like, no, I don't be reaching out to no guys, but something I don't typically do was like, okay, yeah, you should do this. So yeah, I definitely believe God, he was setting everything up before, we got back together. And even the situation with after us getting together, like I lived in Maryland, he lived in Woodbridge, and then my family member was a realtor. He was looking for a house, and it just all like worked. It worked out, and then I actually roomed with somebody that lived not too far from where he bought his house. So then when I moved in, it was kind of like it was just a smooth, seamless process that made sense, and it was all perfect timing and God's timing.
Yes. In the midst of it all.
Oh, come on with it. Yes. I love that. Yes.
So what is something that y'all are looking forward to in regards to being married?
I'm looking forward to starting a family, having children. We neither one of us have children, and for a man and female in the 30s, that's sometimes not heard of. So I'm grateful that I got me one of them having kids. But, yeah, I mean, nothing.
It's a blessing. Yes, it is.
Nothing against anybody with kids. I definitely would be open to it. I'm looking forward to being a mom and him being a dad, just seeing him in that light, because he is that provider. He is, someone that I can see being a great dad, and I'm looking forward to just over time the experiences that we're gonna go through, our family just blending together for different occasions and learning from each other, because that's the thing, you don't want to be with somebody that you can't learn from or you can't grow from. And I want to see him grow, and then I learn from his growth and vice versa. So I'm looking forward to all of that.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with what she said.
Okay. You're looking forward to that. Okay.
Yeah. I mainly my main thing is more so is kids. She knows I want kids, and man, we trying to wait till wedding, but I'm ready now. So yeah, that's one of. And then for her to take my last name, so I call her Miss Whitfield, or to hear someone call her Miss Whitfield, it's just flattering for me. Yeah, that's mainly it.
All right.
You have any more questions, or that's it for you,
Christine? I have one more question.
Okay.
And the last question, I think our viewers wanted to know, what sacrifices think you have made to get to this point? Because we all make sacrifices in different things that we do. So what sacrifices? I think definitely our viewers want to know.
I'll ask them some good questions.
Yes.
Want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay.
So being that my dear love he's a workaholic. He is the provider. Sometimes that can be a gift and a curse. So, with him, getting the house, like I said, this is his house. I moved in, he did everything, the finance and all that. So, he has goals and things that he wants to pay on. So he goes to get that bag, and which means sometimes, he's not here. So I would say some sacrifices would just be like, sometimes being at home by myself. But I know and it's not permanent, so just sacrificing some of those evenings, or, just having him beside me all the time. But, he calls me all the time when he's at work. But just knowing that when there's a goal in mind, sometimes you have to sacrifice what what you would want to happen. And I think the only other sacrifice would just be, I wouldn't even say it's a sacrifice, really. Like we say, you consider somebody else, that's the only thing, just keeping them in mind. But before, when you're single, you don't have to ask, you don't have to get somebody else's opinion. It can be thought of as a sacrifice, but I just feel like that's a different change with being in a relationship. But for me, that's the main sacrifice that I think I've experienced with our relationship. But I know it's going to work out for the best.
I'm still working on my sacrifices. Like she said, I like to work, so I'm trying to cut that back, cut that down. I've recently cut that down a little bit for, her feelings, and, for her not to be alone as much as she is. And, I can be there, give her time. And so that's one of my main sacrifices, is cutting back on the work.
Great. Well, I think that was, did you have any more? Oh, and did you guys want to say anything to any newly engaged couples? Just congratulations, or just nice, anything?
Say, do what works for you in your relationship, because, we see social media and a lot of people are like, this is goals, or, talking about this person doing this financially, or this, that, and the third. Do what works for you in your relationship. Do what works for, you building towards your future. If it could be 1 year the man is taking care of stuff, and something might happen and the woman might have to back him up. But if you are one and that's your partner, because marriage, it's about love and, happiness, but it's a partnership. That's your helpmate. And that's what I always say to him, like, as far as, working, it's just like, I want you to be here to enjoy the money that you're spending, not just, you're earning, not just get the money and you're always at work and you can't enjoy it. So, you have a helpmate. If you have to take some days off, I'm here to, pick the slack up if need be. I just say, enjoy the days, the early days of each phase, because even like when we first started dating, my sister was just like, enjoy it. It's new, it's fresh. We got engaged, enjoy the new engaged part. We're planning a wedding. Just every phase that you go through, just enjoy, the bliss of marriage. Enjoy the first kicks of when the baby comes, just every piece of it, enjoy it. So, because you can't get those moments back. And the time, as everybody can see, just goes by so fast. So I just say embrace and enjoy each moment.
All right. Good advice. Good advice. Really good advice.
Carl, do you have anything to say?
Same thing she says. Enjoy it,
Enjoy it. Yes, definitely. So we want to thank you, definitely, Shanice and Carl, for giving your perspective in regards to being newly engaged. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all chose to show up on the Everyday Queen. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes,
you're welcome. And thank you for your transparency, and congratulations on engagement. We can't wait to be at the wedding to celebrate. So again, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
All right, Rudy. So we're going to wrap it up.
Yes, we
I hope you guys enjoyed the Everyday Queen from the very different perspective, marriage and engagement, and wherever you're at in your life, just keep spreading that love and keep spreading that joy wherever you are in your life.
Yes, continue to love even in your single season. Enjoy every part of it in your engaged season and in your married season.
All right, that's it. Before we go,
come on, we got one more thing to say. One more.
Prank call! So enjoy the prank call, and again, spread love
everywhere.
Mwah!
Until next time.
Bye!
Chris, this is
Keisha. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for sparing your time. So, like my girlfriend was saying, I have a son. He is about 12 years old, and he's interested in running track. And I think he's really good, maybe it's from a mother perspective. But my son, he's a little bit bow-legged, and and so sometimes when he runs, it's a funny run, and he's not getting too far down the track. How could you help him?
You got video? Can you send me the video?
Yeah, I could send you a video. Can you vision it?
I can, but then every circumstance can be different, especially runners. I was trained bow-legged runners, but every bow-legged runner is not necessarily the same. So, I have one now. And the problem is the knees are shooting out.
Yes. That's what
arms are not under control.
Yes, his arms are very floppy, but one thing I love, his name is Forrest. So when I get out there, I just say, "Run, Forrest, run, run." And he always tells me I embarrass him a lot, but I'm just so proud of him because he's not letting his bow-leggedness get him. He's running. And so I think with your, how do you coach? You blow the whistle? Like, can you give me just a segment of what you would do when you meet Forrest?
Well, it takes time, and at that young age, like with girls, girls, their hips, they have to grow and their hips develop.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes even with boys with bow-legged, it's not saying they grow out of it, but they get better at what they're doing. Okay, so the biggest thing about track is being able to do your hip movement, and picking up your knees. So if you're keeping everything inside, your shoulder width, so you don't want them to go outside of shoulder width. So
yes.
You want to keep everything in that compartment right there.
Yes.
So that has to be taught. That's pretty much that has to be taught for the muscles to start doing that, and then that's a way where it can be growth. But
do you give them motivational really speeches?
Bad, but it may not be that bad.
Do you give them motivational speeches? Like, do you kind of what's your pump, like, to pump them up? Because that's what Forrest needs. Everything.
What kind of kid he is? He might be able to take it and be like, you tighten up. But for him, his understanding, the more he runs and runs correctly, the better it will get.
So should I have him at home?
I ain't saying be perfect.
Okay. So when he's at home, should he run around the yard? Should I have him run around your house? Like, what should I do? Because, I can have Forrest shadow you all day and just run. Every time you blow the whistle,
run. You run the proper way.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
See, so now, can I say this? I don't mean to cut you off, but I think that Forrest will run straight when it's an ice cream truck. But Forrest don't want to run when it's a track. So I need you. I don't want to guide you to coach. But is there any way that you could get an ice cream truck or something on the track thing so he could run? That's when he really takes off.
You use motivation. You need somebody to give you some good words of encouragement. And I'm being so sarcastic.
But I think with
if he can run for ice cream truck, then he can run the right way.
That's what I know. But I think that would help him with your motivation, the ice cream truck out there. I think I could get him a track scholarship.
Does he want to run, or do you want him to run?
It's both. It's both. We both want to do it.
Run around the track. I did it for years in college, and after that, I don't know what to tell you.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you the tape, and then I'm going to come back. I'm going to continue to pray for Forrest and see how it goes. And hopefully we can maybe set something up to meet him in person so you can truly see. I think it's because you seem like you're more vision and see how he's running. How does that sound?
Oh yeah, I would love it. Oh yeah, I love it. Especially when kids like to get in track. It's a mental thing.
Yes. Well, can you just say one thing before I go? He's right here. Can you just say "Run, Forrest," really quick?
Run, Forrest, run.
Wow. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a blessed evening. I will be in touch.
No problem. Anytime.
All right. Bye-bye.